In a flash of blinding light and a deafening roar, Christian Reyes's faster-than-light engine crackled to life, and humanity's fate was forever changed. Grease-stained and unshaven, Christian staggered back from the glowing machine, his bloodshot eyes wide with exhilaration as tremors rattled his cluttered lab. He'd done it. After years toiling in secrecy, of enduring ridicule and scorn, he'd achieved what the Galactic Council had long declared impossible. For lesser races like humans, faster-than-light travel. But his elation was short-lived as alarms began to wail. The massive energy signature hadn't gone unnoticed. Heart-pounding, Christian raced to grab his blueprints and prototypes. He had to run before they arrived, before the Galactic Council's shock troops stormed in to seize the engine and bury his breakthrough. This technology was humanity's only hope against the Council's tyrannical rule. Without it, humans would remain forever trapped in their own star system, easy prey for alien overlords. Christian knew if he was caught he'd be executed on the spot as a dangerous dissident. Suddenly the lab's reinforced door exploded inward with a concussive blast. Through the smoke strode Raxa, the towering Illyrian enforcer, flanked by a dozen heavily armed soldiers. "Surrender the illegal device immediately, human," Raxa growled, leveling his plasma rifle at Christian's chest. "By order of the Galactic Council, you're under arrest for developing restricted technology." Christian slowly raised his hands, mind racing. He couldn't hand over the engine, but he also couldn't fight his way out. He'd have to outwit them somehow. With humanity's future hanging in the balance, Christian took a deep breath, looked Raxa dead in his reptilian eyes, and made a split-second decision that would echo across the galaxy. In a split second, Christian slammed his fist on a concealed button. The lab filled with thick smoke, obscuring Raxa's view. Blaster shots rang out, scorching the walls where Christian had stood moments before. Snatching up his blueprints and a miniaturized prototype of the FTL engine, Christian dashed through a hidden exit, narrowly escaping capture. Heart-hammering, Christian fled through the sprawling urban labyrinth, desperate to put distance between himself and his pursuers. He needed help, allies, resources, and he knew just where to turn. Ducking into an abandoned warehouse, Christian activated an encrypted comm device. "Marcus, it's Christian. I need your help." The grizzled face of his estranged brother filled the screen. "What have you gotten yourself into now?" "I built it, Marcus, the FTL engine, and now the Council's after me." Marcus leaned forward, voice dropping low. "You're serious?" "Dead serious. This tech could change everything for humanity, but not if the Council gets their hands on it. I need your skills, your connections. We have to keep it out of their control." "I'm in. Meet me at the old drop point. We'll figure out our next move." Signing off, Christian set to work rigging traps and false trails to throw off Raxa and his goons. He couldn't afford to let them find him. Not now. By the time he reached the rendezvous, Marcus was waiting, a small arsenal already laid out. "I've called in a few favors. We're going to need a ship, something fast and heavily armed." The new Illyrian XR-7 could work, Christian mused, but they're locked down tight at the Corax shipyard. Marcus flashed a predatory grin. "Then that's our target." Infiltrating the shipyard tested every bit of their skills and training. Christian sliced through security systems and rewired access panels, while Marcus ghosted past patrols with lethal precision. Step by step, they made their way to the sleek, deadly vessel. Alarms blared as they powered up the XR-7's engines. Raxa and his troops, weapons blazing, flooded the hangar. Christian hastily interfaced the FTL prototype with the ship's drive system as Marcus laid down covering fire. "Whatever you're doing back there, do it faster," Marcus shouted over the din of ricocheting blaster bolts. With a triumphant shout, Christian slammed the console. "Go, go, go!" The XR-7 blasted free of the shipyard, its superior speed and maneuverability leaving the Illyrian ships in the dust. But they weren't safe yet. Marcus wove through a dense asteroid field, the ship's shields shuddering under the impact of cosmic debris. Christian frantically worked to integrate the FTL engine, knowing it was their only chance to escape the Council's far-reaching grasp. Unbeknownst to the brothers, their daring heist had drawn the attention of more than just the Galactic Council. Across the star system, various factions, from rebel groups to pirate syndicates, took notice. Some sought to steal the FTL technology for their own ends, others to curry favor with the Council by turning in the fugitives. The web of intrigue and danger spread, ensnaring Christian and Marcus in a galaxy-spanning game of cat and mouse. As they hurtled through the void, Christian and Marcus were forced to confront the fractured state of their relationship. The old wounds, the unspoken grievances, all bubbled to the surface in the confines of the ship. "You always were the golden boy," Marcus said bitterly, hands white-knuckled on the controls. "The prodigy. But where were you when I needed you? When I was bleeding out on some backwater battlefield?" Christian met his brother's accusing gaze. "I wanted to be there, but my research, I thought I was doing something important, something that could help our people. And look where that's gotten us." The weight of their past hung heavy between them, a chasm that seemed insurmountable. But as the forces arrayed against them grew, as the stakes climbed ever higher, the brothers began to realize that their only hope lay in each other, in learning to trust again, to fight side by side as they once had. The road ahead was fraught with peril, the odds stacked against them. But with the FTL engine in their hands and a newfound sense of purpose, Christian and Marcus vowed to do whatever it took to keep the technology safe and secure a brighter future for humanity among the stars, no matter the cost. As Christian and Marcus raced through the void, the weight of their mission bore down on them. The stolen XR-7 hummed with power, its modified engines propelling them towards an uncertain future. Christian pored over the ship's data logs, searching for any trace of their pursuers, while Marcus kept a watchful eye on the scanners. Suddenly, a chime from the comm system shattered the tense silence. Christian furrowed his brow as he read the incoming message. "It's from an unknown source. Could be a trap." Marcus leaned in, studying the cryptic text. "Or it could be the break we need. They claim to have intel on the Council's plans for the FTL tech." "Can we trust them?" "Do we have a choice? We're flying blind out here." Christian hesitated, weighing the risks. "Okay, let's set up a meeting. But we do it on our terms, neutral ground." The brothers agreed on a remote, uninhabited planet near the edge of Council space. As the XR-7 touched down on the barren surface, Christian and Marcus scanned their surroundings, weapons at the ready. A cloaked figure emerged from the shadows of a rocky outcropping, moving towards them with purposeful strides. "That's far enough," Marcus called out, his rifle trained on the stranger. "Show yourself." The figure reached up and lowered their hood, revealing a striking Illyrian female with piercing eyes. "I am Zephyr, and I come bearing the truth about the Galactic Council." Christian and Marcus exchanged a wary glance. Zephyr was one of the Council's own, a brilliant scientist renowned for her work in advanced propulsion systems. What could have driven her to turn against her people? As if reading their thoughts, Zephyr spoke. "I once believed in the Council's vision, but I have seen the depths of their corruption, their tyrannical grip on progress. They seek to control the FTL technology, to use it as a weapon to further subjugate the races of the galaxy." She held out a data chip. "I have been working on my own FTL research in secret. With your prototype and my knowledge, we could change the course of history, break free from the Council's shackles and usher in a new era of exploration and unity." Christian reached for the chip, hope warring with suspicion in his eyes. But before he could grasp it, the whine of plasma rifles shattered the still air. Raxor and his soldiers poured over the ridge, raining fire down upon them. "Take cover," Marcus shouted, dragging Christian behind the XR-7 as Zephyr dove for shelter. The three unlikely allies fought back with everything they had, their weapons blazing against the onslaught. Christian and Zephyr worked to keep the ship's shields up, while Marcus picked off soldiers with deadly precision. In the chaos of battle, Christian found himself cut off from the others, face to face with Raxor. The Illyrian enforcer's eyes burned with hatred as he lunged at Christian, his plasma blade sizzling through the air. Christian reacted on instinct, his years of tinkering in the lab giving way to a surprising well of combat skill. He ducked and weaved, using the terrain to his advantage, staying one step ahead of Raxa's brutal attacks. Their battle raged across the rocky landscape, neither giving an inch, but Christian's quick mind proved as sharp as Raxa's blade. Feinting left, he lured the enforcer into a precarious position, then triggered a rock slide with a well-placed shot. Raxa tumbled into a ravine buried under a ton of rubble. Seizing the opening, Christian raced back to the XR-7, where Marcus and Zephyr were holding the line. "Go, I've bought us some time!" They piled into the ship, engines roaring to life as they blasted off the planet's surface. Christian collapsed into his seat, chest heaving, as Marcus plotted a course to the far reaches of space. Zephyr looked between the brothers, a fire in her eyes. The Council will stop at nothing to control the FTL technology and crush any resistance. But together, we can fight back, expose their lies, and unite the oppressed races of the galaxy. Christian and Marcus shared a determined look, their bond stronger than ever in the face of this new challenge. They had set out to protect Christian's invention, but now they found themselves at the heart of a brewing revolution. As the XR-7 hurtled through the stars, the trio began to lay the groundwork for their next move. The road ahead was fraught with danger, but with Zephyr's inside knowledge and the brothers' unwavering resolve, they just might have a chance to reshape the galaxy itself. As their stolen ship raced through the void, Christian, Marcus, and Zephyr pored over the data they'd gathered, searching for any clue to the location of the Galactic Council's secret research facility. Days stretched into weeks as they followed lead after lead, each one bringing them closer to their target. Finally, they struck gold. A cryptic reference hidden deep within the files pointed to a remote, heavily guarded outpost on the fringes of Council space. It had to be the place. "We need a plan," Marcus said, studying the holographic schematics of the facility. "This place is locked up tighter than a Corvallian vault." Zephyr tapped the display, highlighting a series of access tunnels. "I can get us inside, but once we're in, we'll have to move fast. The Council's AI defenses will be on high alert." Christian nodded, determination etched on his face. "Then let's get to work." They spent the next few days preparing, running drills and honing their skills. Christian and Zephyr worked on the FTL engine, fine-tuning it for the escape they knew they'd need to make. Marcus prepped their weapons and gear, his eyes hard with focus. When the time came, they approached the facility with caution, slipping past the outer perimeter defenses with Zephyr's insider knowledge. But as they made their way deeper into the complex, the resistance grew fiercer. Sleek, deadly drones swarmed from every corridor, their blasters spitting fire. Christian, Marcus, and Zephyr fought back with everything they had, their weapons flashing in the dim light. Christian hacked the security systems, turning the base's own defenses against it. Marcus moved like a ghost, striking from the shadows with lethal precision. Zephyr's knowledge of Illyrian tech proved invaluable as she overrode lockdowns and sealed doors behind them. Step by hard-won step, they pushed forward, leaving a trail of sparking wreckage in their wake. At the heart of the facility, they split up. Marcus and Zephyr headed for the control center to disable the remaining security measures, while Christian made for the research labs, desperate to find the stolen data. As he sliced through the final firewall, Christian's heart raced. The secrets of the Council's FTL research lay bare before him, a trove of schematics and test results. But as he dug deeper, a chilling realization washed over him. The lead scientist on the project, the man whose brilliance had pushed the boundaries of what was possible, was his own father. Christian's mind reeled as he read the files, each one painting a picture of a man he'd thought he'd known. His father had been working for the Council all along, developing the very technology Christian had sought to keep from their grasp. But there was more. The records of his father's final days, the mysterious circumstances of his death, it hadn't been an accident at all. When his father had tried to back out, to keep the FTL engine from falling into the wrong hands, the Council had silenced him. Rage and grief warred within Christian as the truth sank in. The Council's crimes ran even deeper than he'd ever imagined, and now, more than ever, he knew he had to stop them. Downloading the files, Christian raced to rejoin the others, his heart hammering in his chest. They had to get this information out, had to expose the Council's corruption for all the galaxy to see. But as they neared the hangar where they'd left their ship, a figure stepped from the shadows. Kron, the Council's deadliest operative, stood between them and freedom, his eyes glinting with cruel purpose. "Did you really think you could steal from the Council and walk away?" Kron sneered, his body bristling with cybernetic enhancements. "The FTL technology is ours, and so are you." Christian, Marcus, and Zephyr exchanged a split-second glance, a lifetime of understanding passing between them. As one, they charged forward, blasters and blades flashing. Kron was fast, his reflexes honed beyond human limits, but the trio fought with the desperate strength of those who had everything to lose. Christian danced around Kron's blows, his mind racing as he sought a weakness. Marcus pressed the attack, his shots chipping away at the super soldier's armor, and Zephyr lashed out with an EMP grenade, shorting out Kron's cybernetics for a precious few seconds. In that moment, Christian saw their chance. "Go!" he shouted, shoving Marcus toward the ship. Zephyr hesitated, her eyes wide with understanding. "Christian, no." "I'll hold him off," Christian said, his voice firm. "Get that data to safety, expose the truth, no matter what happens, don't look back." With a final anguished glance, Marcus and Zephyr raced up the ramp, the ship's engines roaring to life. Christian squared off against Kron, the fate of the galaxy hanging in the balance. Sci-Fi, you have reached the end of the story. If you enjoyed this story and want to support us, please leave a like and subscribe to our channel, and for every comment that says 88, I will heart every single one of them. Thank you for your time.